Hey everyone, welcome on board. I hope everyone is having a great day. Hi everyone, my name is Anna Gandrabura, also known as English. You can see my nickname here written on the screen. Welcome on board. Join in. I am Anna from English for IT. And English for IT is a language school, is a company that teaches English to IT professionals and not only technical professions, but also non-technical professions. For example, project managers, product managers, marketing specialists, human resource specialists, right? So we work with everyone in tech, and this is what we do. We are debugging your English. Now, I did not ask if you guys can see me and hear me well. Not sure. Not sure. Let's do the sound check. Working or not working? The sound check working or not working? Let me know in the comments. Everything's great. Okay, awesome. Great to hear that. All right. Well, today I decided to have this live stream. Well, actually, I had the first live stream last week, and I decided that I want to be consistent because, consistency helps you to become successful, right? So when you are consistent, what does it mean to be consistent? To be consistent means to be regular, right? To regularly do something, right? For example, if you are trying to practice a new skill or an old skill, doesn't matter, and you want to make yourself perfect, or you want to perfect it, you have to be consistent. That is why the system, like the learning method that I use when teaching you guys English, is daily portion of English. Yeah, so like you have to learn English daily in order to to get the result that you want, and this is called consistency. And the same with everything else in life, technically, right? Not only with English, but for example, if I want to be a successful YouTube teacher, I have to be consistent. So this week is my second stream, second in a row. I planned to have this stream on Thursdays, but this week has been super busy and super hectic. That's why I moved it to Friday. I know Friday is not the best day. This is like, Friday is the day where people don't want to do any serious things. But anyway, this webinar is going to be recorded, and people will be able to watch it later. Like if you didn't watch it when it was live, you can watch it later. And today the topic is Q&A. So what is a Q&A? Technically, you know where to find me. I'm on social media, pretty much every platform. So I get questions in direct messages, right? I get questions from you in DMs all the time. And I think it's a great idea if we hold such Q&A sessions occasionally, from time to time, occasionally, and just discuss the questions that you have about English, about tech, about career, and things like that. And that is why I asked you in advance to ask your questions. I recorded the questions. I wrote them down, and I want to answer them today. But also, I would like you to ask questions as you watch this webinar, right? So please drop your questions in the chat, and I will go one by one answering your questions. Actually, I really love this stream style where I can share your questions on the screen, so it's easy and very convenient. All right, let's get down to business. By the way, say hi in the chat. Don't be a stranger, right? Feel free to introduce yourself. We are a small community here of viewers, so feel free to drop a comment. Pitch yourself. If you have ever taken my English for Tech course or any of the English for Tech courses, you probably know how to pitch yourself, right? Because this is the first thing that I teach people, right? How to introduce yourself in the proper way. So feel free to introduce yourself. You can also network a little bit here. Okay, I would like to start right away with the question that is a grammar question. How to write correctly in the United States or in USA or in the USA, right? This is an interesting question, and I would like to make a comment about not only to USA, right, but also I want to give you some recommendations on how to properly make a question technically, right? So here we can see that we can see three questions, right? However, technically it should be just one question, right? The thing is that whenever you want to ask a question and if you want to be understood, your question has to be very clear. So how to write, it's not the it's not a complete sentence. Yeah, it's not a finished question. So that is why there's no need to end it with a question mark there. Also, if you like in English, you don't typically say how to write correctly. Also, this is not a question sentence here, right? Because we know that in English, when you want to make a question, let's say you start with a question word like how, what, why, etc. But after the question word, you have to use an auxiliary verb, right? For example, do, does, is, are, etc. After that, you have to use a subject, who is performing the action. After the subject, you use the verb, the main verb, and then you use everything else. Yeah, because another popular question that I get, and also today I got this question as well, the question is about the word order. So the word order in a question sentence is in questions, yeah, is a question word if you have it, auxiliary verb, an auxiliary verb, a subject, the main verb, and then everything else. If there is no question word in your question, like how, who, what, etc., then your question starts with an auxiliary verb. For example, where do you live? Yeah, so this is an example of a question. Where is a question word. Do is an auxiliary verb. You is a subject. And live is a verb. Yeah, is a main verb of this question. Also, I would like to make a quick comment here. I say it's a verb. I don't say it's a predicate. Because I don't want to overwhelm you with a lot of grammar terms. That is why I am not, using grammar terminology if I don't really need it, right? So I don't want to overwhelm you with this like grammar terms, and nobody needs them. And to be honest, when you talk to native speakers, sometimes they don't know the words that English learners, advanced level English learners, know grammar terms, because this is like, this is not really important for conversation. I mean, for fluent conversation here. Okay, so that is why, what's wrong with this question? How can we transform this question? How to write correctly? How can we make this part a proper question based on the structure, based on what I just explained to you? If you want to share in the comments, feel free to share in the comments. So we need to use, after how, we need to use an auxiliary verb, right? And we also need a subject, because in this part, how to write correctly, we don't have a subject, but there has to be a subject. There is always a subject in a sentence. So what's going to be a subject here? How to write correctly? Well, you can say, how can I write something correctly? Or how can we write something correctly? Or how should we write something correctly? So you see, you have to add a subject, and then it will be a proper sentence here, right? So how can I write the United States, or in the United States, or in the USA correctly? That would be a proper question here. Now, how can I answer this question? Well, the United States, it's always the United States, right? So that's why you say in the United States of America, or you can just say in the United States of America would be a full phrase without of America, just in the United States. If you want to use the acronym, yeah, USA, you still say in the USA. The thing is that there is a rule that with the names of countries, if the name consists of the United States, the United Kingdom, the United Emirates, we always use the article the, right? In definite article the. In other cases, with the names of countries, we never use any articles, right? So that's why we say, I don't know, France, Germany, no, nothing. But when it's United States, Emirates, actually the Republic as well, I guess, or yeah, in this case we use the article the. Okay, so Marina is asking here, how do I need well, I mean, in order for me to answer this question, Marina, I have to know what happens after do I need. Yeah, like give me the full sentence. Like from what you have now, from what you have written right now, it's fine. How do I need? But what? What's next? Again, depending on the context, this sentence might not be correct, might not be proper for a certain context. But from the grammar point, from the grammatical standpoint, it's fine. Alrighty. Okay, so let's move on to another question, another popular question. And again, since I already started talking about the word order, here's the word order question as well. I have a problem with the word order. Yeah, we typically say word order in my sentence, and sometimes it looks ugly. Well, with the word order, typically you need to remember several things. Number one, never translate big sentences from your native language into English, right? So this is a mistake. This is when you actually make these mistakes, yeah? Because in your language, in your native language, your sentence might be too long, because typically in English sentences are short, and I can judge Spanish sentences are long. Spanish speakers, they speak in long sentences. Yeah. Ukrainians use long sentences as well. I mean, many languages use long sentences in that's normal for that language. But in English, this is not a good idea. And when you have an idea, you want to say something, and you know how to say this, in your language, and you start translating word for word in English, this is when it might look a little bit ugly. Not only that, I mean, I wouldn't say ugly, it's just confusing. Yeah, it's just difficult to understand, because native speakers, I mean, it's hard for them to understand what you're saying, because there's so much information, so many words. That is why do not translate long sentences. If it's still hard for you to think in English, yeah, if you don't have enough practice to think in English, you have an idea what you want to say in your native language, but like the first thing you think about, okay, is this a long sentence or a short sentence? If this is a long sentence, you need to break it down. Break it down means separate, right? You need to break it down into 2 or 3 shorter sentences, and then you can translate them, right? This will help you with the word order, yeah? And like technically, when you don't have many words to say in one sentence, it is easier to figure out the word order. So this is the first thing that you need to think about. The second thing that you need to think about is that in English, actually, word order is not a very challenging task. It should not be a challenging task for you, because in English, you have in the sentence typically has quite a strict word order. you use a subject, yeah, who is doing the action. After the subject, you must always use a verb, yeah, the action, what is happening. And only after subject and the verb, you use everything else. You give details. For example, I went shopping yesterday. Can you say went I shopping yesterday? I don't think so. Yeah, no, not possible. So in English, I will always be before went. Yeah, because I is a subject and went is a verb, is an action that I performed. That is why when you need to say something in English and you worry about word order, you need to remember a simple formula here, a simple sentence structure. Always say who first, then say what they do, did, or will do, or whatever the tense is. And only after that, you can say everything else. And if you remember this simple rule, you're not going to be like your sentences won't be too confusing, and you won't have to rack your brain over stressing yourself out. What should I say first? What should I say next? Etc. Etc. That is why who is doing what or did what or does what, and then everything else. Now you might want to know about everything else, when I say every other words that you want to say. The thing is that when you give details, you might need to say, you might need to give information about the place where something is happening, the time when something is happening, people who are involved with this, in reasons why it's happening. So technically, you will have to add more information and more words that technically answer questions: what, when, where, why, and things like that, right? And in this case, there is also I would not say it's like an official rule, but English teachers typically know this trick. And when English teachers teach word order, they typically give this trick to tell about this trick, tell their students about this trick, right? So when you have to give details in your sentence, so this is the order of details. First you say what, then you say where, and then you say when. Technically, the pro tip here is to remember that the word or the phrase that answers the question when will always be the last in the sentence or the first, because when, but not in the middle. Yeah, the last or the first. You will have it first if you want to highlight this word. Yeah. So for example, I went shopping in the city, for example. Where? Yeah. I went shopping in the city, I don't know, in the city center or something, yesterday or last week. Yeah. So this is what I did. Yeah. So I said where, in the city or in the city center, whatever, any place you like. And then finally I said when, yesterday or last week. I can also say the same thing. Last week I went shopping in the city center or something like that, right? I went shopping with my friends in the city center. So you see, I will say with my friends before the city center, because the city center answers the question where, and where has to be before when. Yeah, so this is like a life hack here for you to think about when you have to say something in English or to write something in English. Yeah. But like I said, let me just repeat myself that, if you don't want to worry about the word order in the sentence, first of all, make sure your sentences are short. Yeah. Don't write in long sentences, because in English it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea, and people don't do this. And number two, remember about very simple and very precise, very specific word order in the English sentence. Who does what, then when, where, and when. That's what happens. Yeah. So moving on to the next question then. Alrighty, let's move on to the next question. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll answer them as well. Okay, now this is let's diversify our questions here a little bit. This is a very interesting question and a very interesting wording that I got from one of our community members here. How to go again, not how to go. How to is not a question. How to is a statement. If it is a question, how can I go from English in to English out without having an English speaking environment? Okay, so from what I understand, English in, yeah, English in, and English out means. Like again, if I understood this question correctly, so English in, the person means that you are just like getting information, yeah, you are absorbing information, you're getting your English in you, in your head, in your brain, whatever. And getting English out is becoming actually productive, right? So this is true. This is actually a really cool a question. So when we learn a foreign language, not only English, well, generally, yeah, a foreign language, we we have to train our receptive skills. And then I mean we have receptive practice, yeah, and then we have productive practice. And when I say receptive, it's when we read something, yeah, when we listen to something, when we are getting this information, right? So usually this is just like absorbing information, but we're not producing anything, for example. If you need to write something or if you need to say something, this is production. You are producing your own content in using a foreign language, yeah, in English, for example. And that's different, of course, that's different. That is why it's easier for us when we learn a foreign language, it's easier for us to read something, yeah, when it is written already, because it has already been produced for us. So we don't need to do much. We just need to absorb this information, like read, for example, something, or listen to something, right? Like somebody recorded a podcast. Now we're just listening to this podcast. But if I ask you, can you say this in English or can you write this in English? Then it's a whole different story. You need to actually create your own content in a foreign language, and this is, of course, different and difficult. Yeah, might be difficult. However, I believe that living in an English speaking environment has nothing to do to making your English more productive. You have to be more productive using English. Because to be honest, guys, if you don't know, I am originally from Ukraine, and I learned English the way I speak it right now while I was living in Ukraine. I wasn't born in the United States. I didn't go to high school in the States. I came to the States when I was already an adult, and I could already speak English. I had been working for 3 years as an English teacher before I first came to the United States, and I had been also working as a interpreter, and that was all in Ukraine. Yeah. So, and to be honest, my first experience, I was learning English in a small village near a big city. So it really doesn't matter. When you ask questions like this, it shows me that you are looking for excuses why you can't learn English, like why you can't get to that upper level. You're looking for excuses because this is our human nature, right? We are looking for excuses. Okay, I don't speak like Anna because I don't live in the United States. Well, Anna also didn't speak Anna also didn't live in the United States when she learned to speak English like this. So English speaking environment is an excuse, especially in the world where we have the internet. You don't need to live in the English speaking environment. or any other environment. You have the internet. You are here, for example, we are like in the stream right now. You're from all over the world. It doesn't really matter. And, the only thing that you need to do to go from English in to English out is technically just go out there and practice. And again, if you tell me, like, how can I practice? Like I said, there are so many ways you can practice. You can find a community, like, for example, our community, and practice in the community. For example, I have, a Telegram community, a Telegram channel where people, I mean, can ask questions, I don't know, comment on each other's messages and things like that. You can come to live streams like this, you can, I don't know, there's so many ways you can really practice English. What you need to do, you need to decide how you want to do it, and you need to decide what is the best working method for you. Because to be honest, for example, for some people, they are really independent and they are disciplined, and they can take courses on their own, study on their own, without, I don't know, any support, any mentor, and they can be successful. But many people cannot do this, because people need supervision, they need discipline. That's why a lot of people want to practice with the teacher, yeah, or with the group, for example. This is all great, I mean, I don't see a problem with this, but you need to decide what is the way you want to practice, yeah, for your learning goal, and then you go from there. You can take a course, you can study on your own, you can study watching my videos, for example, on YouTube, right? You can chat with the community on Telegram, let's say, and things like that. That is why, that's what you need to do. I think the question should be asked in the way, how can I go from the habit of thinking to the habit of action? From the habit of thinking to the habit of action. It means that when we think of many things, yeah, we think about many things, and we have many ideas, but do we really execute on these ideas? Do we really do what we plan? Yeah. Think about this. Yeah. How many ideas, how many plans, how many goals do you have? Or how many of these things have you set up, right? And how many have you actually started working on, right? So the thing is here is to start small. Yeah. Don't fantasize about like amazing and like great goals or something like this. Start small. If you want to practice English, choose one thing you want to do right now that you will enjoy doing in English, right? And it can be like, if you want to practice speaking, find a speaking partner you can talk to. If you want to practice writing, again, join I don't know, a chat where you can write and talk to other people, ask them questions, answer their questions, support, help, and things like that, right? If your goal is to, I don't know, prepare for an English exam, decide which exam you want to prepare for, why you need this exam, what's the benefit, and then again find a community or a course that will help you boost your knowledge preparing for this exam. And technically this is something that you can do. From the habit of thinking to the habit of action, guys, this is important. All right, awesome. Okay, I see Elena asked a question. Yeah, guys, if you have questions, please ask them. Ask them in the chat. I will answer these questions first before I answer the questions that I prepared that people asked me before. Okay, So Olena is asking a question. Anna, you're a real example of creating yourself, cool school and huge community around you. Please share what are your own principles or keys for of achieving goals. That's a great question, Elena. Thank you so much. I'm happy that my example is motivating for you. And yeah, guys, Elena is right. Actually, I created myself from zero to hero, as they say. Yeah, in English we have such a saying, zero to hero, and. Yeah, it shouldn't stop you. It shouldn't stop you if you think that you are nobody. It's easier to become somebody if you're nobody. And you know why? Think about this. Here's an example. If you are an elementary level student, yeah, and English elementary, it is much easier to see your progress, yeah, from elementary to intermediate, because you can really feel it. Yeah, there is a big difference between zero and intermediate, right? But if you're already intermediate and you want to get to another level, the difference is not as much seen. Yeah, so it's more difficult to see. That is why don't worry if you think that you're nobody, because it will be easy to become a somebody, to be honest, right? Then I would say my say here would be the following. Of course, it's hard work. Yeah, it's hard work. No matter what you do, if you want to be successful, you will have to work really hard for this. And don't believe people who say that, oh, you can do it easily, you can, well, whatever, achieve your goals easily with enjoyment, things like that. Of course, you have to enjoy what you're doing, because if you found your true passion, if you found your purpose in life, yeah, you will be enjoying what you're doing. But be prepared to work hard for it, because only hard work, yeah, brings you great results. And trust me, all the successful people that you see on TV, or I don't know, online, and wherever you see them on social media, they work a lot. They just don't like show you their daily grind. Yeah, they just don't show you every, I don't know, every hour of their life. But trust me, they work a lot. Another thing that so hard work will help you achieve your goals. Another thing that I would say, I should have probably said it right at the beginning, that when you set goals, you really have to understand what you're doing and why you're doing. And for example, I always say that I was lucky, or I am lucky, because I found my purpose early in life. Yeah, and I just followed it, right? So I found my purpose. I really enjoy education, educating people, helping people make their lives better through education, English education, now tech education, and whatever other knowledge I have. I really like sharing, and I really like teaching people, and this is my passion, and this is my purpose. And I found it really early in life, when I was 19 years old only, and I just followed this path. And I have been happy along the way, doing building my career. However, a lot of people, they struggle with this. Yeah, it's not easy for everyone to find their purpose, to find their passion. That is why my recommendation, again, if you want to build a successful career, if you want to build a happy life, figure out your purpose in life. Yeah, why you're here, how can you help the world? Yeah, what value can you bring people to people in the world in general, right? So that is why it's important for you to look inside you, and to decide what's your purpose. Not to decide, but to understand, to feel it, right? What's your purpose? What you want to do, because a lot of times when people don't really understand that this is what they want to do, that's what brings unhappiness. because like when you hate your job or when you hate what you're doing and things like that, this is not cool, and it will be really hard to achieve your goals if you are in that position, if you are in that situation. So definitely my recommendation and my advice, number one advice, is always focus on yourself and always think about what you need, what makes you happy, and what you love doing and what you want to continue doing. Yeah. And of course, you have to accept the fact that if you want to live a happy life, whole life, yeah, you have to be a lifelong learner. It doesn't mean how old you are. It doesn't mean like if you're 30, you already know a lot and you don't need to develop, you don't need to grow. If you're 40, oh my God, I'm already like so experienced. I don't need, I already know everything. This is not true, because yeah, you know everything that a 30, 35-year-olds have to know, but you're just entering a 40-year-old or like 45 or 55, doesn't matter. So you have to admit the fact that you have to be a lifelong learner. And it means self-growth, self-development, yeah, getting new knowledge. That is why, guys, be prepared that you will be learning for the rest of your life, yeah. And but if you do so, you will always be happy because you will always have more opportunities. Remember, opportunities come through knowledge. Opportunities come through information. So the more information you have, the more opportunities you have, yeah. The more knowledge you get, the more opportunities you have again, yeah. Opportunities are not created on the couch, yeah. Like you don't like sit in your house, watch TV, I don't know, chat on the phone with your friends or online, and this is not how opportunities are created. Opportunities are created through interaction. You have to interact with the world, yeah. If you want something good to happen to you, you have to interact with the world. You have to create these opportunities. You have to generate these opportunities. And in English, it's called serendipity. Serendipity, it's like to be in the right place in the right time. How can you be in the right place at the right time? Well, you have to do something. Again, if you stay home, do nothing, you will never be in the same place, in the right place at the right time, because you're not moving. That is why when you are moving, and when I say moving, I mean like you are doing something, you are interacting with the world, you are meeting other people, you are learning new things. Like for example, right now you joined this webinar, you are interacting with the world. You never know, you might ask a question now and you get an answer, and it's like a game changing experience for you, right? Or you ask a question in the chat and somebody else responds to you, and you meet someone who you really need in your life, or something like this, some really useful connection. So this is what this is, serendipity. But we have to create it, because serendipity works only if we work, yeah, only if we start doing something. And this is probably one of the most important things that we need to remember when we want to be successful achieving our goals, yeah. And especially when you want to create yourself, when you want to become, when you want to get from zero to hero. Thank you for this question. Okay, Elena has another comment or question. And by the way, how to understand these goals? Yeah, I think I kind of answered this question, because I think that is also one of the issues to be solved before starting moving forward. Yeah, it's like try to understand your purpose in life. Yeah, try to understand what you want to do and how to do it. Now, that's a good question. Let me think about it and drink some water. You can also share your thoughts in the chat. What do you think is the good way to understand your goals? Yeah, like what do you really want in life? What do you want to do in life? I don't know, maybe like what career you want to do in life. What do you think? What would be your go-to method here? If you want to share, feel free. So my thoughts are how to understand it. If you, again, If you are focused on self development and self growth, and like if you, I don't know, like I said, talk to people about it, read some books about it, like when you interact with the world and you have this question, how can I find my purpose? How can I understand my goals better? How can I set the right goals? The answers will come to you. Like I said, my vision is that if you are looking for your purpose in life, yeah, what you want to do in life, it's really important to try and do things, do different things. For example, let's say you want to start a tech career, yeah? You want to transition to a completely new area, tech. Let's say you did something else. You were let's say before you were a small business owner, yeah, you had a small store, offline store, and now you want to become a tech professional, yeah, you want to break into tech. How do you decide which career you want to take, actually here? I actually had this question, somebody asked me this question. Let me see. Or maybe that wasn't this time, but anyway, let's say you want to build a tech career, and no, it wasn't here. It's about how to build a tech career of an English teacher, but not a tech professional. Let's say you want to build a career in tech. How do you decide which job you want to do in tech? How do you decide? How to pick a tech career? Let's do the checklist. How to pick a tech career. First off, when we want to pick a tech career, we have to learn what careers are out there, right? Because it's not only coders, it's not only software engineers, right? We have like software engineers, recruiters, support managers, PMs, I don't know, product managers. Yeah, by the way, do you know the difference between a project manager and the product manager? People who are new to tech, they don't know the difference. A lot of people think that this is one and the same thing, which is not true. So what do? You start learning about these jobs. You start, like, what do? You go to different meetups, you go to events, yeah, you join webinars, you join some, I don't know, networking sessions, and you talk to people who either do these jobs already or who know something about these jobs, so they can share with you, and this is important. But you start doing things, yeah, and that's the answer. Yeah, how can you understand these goals? How can you understand that you want to become a business analyst in IT and not a project manager? You have to know the difference. And also you have to know that in order to become a business analyst, you have to speak really fluent English, because business analysts work with the clients. And if your goal is to work for an international company, you already have a goal. You have to already set a goal to learn English to at least upper intermediate level. And that is why it's important to interact with the world, learn about these things, and then you will come to the point where you will understand, okay, now I really feel great about this job. I want to do this job. And now my next step is to, I don't know, enter a boot camp, yeah, or buy a course and learn more about this profession and become a certified, for example, professional specialist in this area. So this is very important, yeah, and that's technically what is. This technically helps you to understand your goals and to understand your purpose. And so from what you just heard from me, we just have to act, yeah, like I said, like sitting on your couch watching TV and just thinking about things. Don't, like, this doesn't really help you. understand what you want to do, where you want to be, how to get there, how soon you will get there, and things like that. But when you start acting, you create this serendipitous moment, and serendipity helps you to meet the right people, to interact with the right people. I don't know, to hear the right things, to see the right things, and technically will bring you to your destination, to the place where you want to be. Guys, I've tested this theory so many times. Yeah, unfortunately, things don't come to us if we don't do anything. That is why start doing something. Yeah, like for example, your English won't improve if you say 0 words a day. But if you say, like, let's say you speak at least 5 minutes every day, yeah, every day, and this is what will help you achieve your English learning goal. Yeah, so try it. Just let's do this experiment. Every day starting tomorrow, you speak English for 5 minutes. What do you do? What can you do? You just take your phone, pull up a camera, and start speaking on camera, just like I do it. Yeah, just like I do it. Hi, yeah, and that's what you start doing. So start speaking on camera. It has to be 5 minutes. Okay, maybe 5 minutes too much, to be honest. Maybe 2 minutes. First, start with 2 minutes, and just pick a topic every day. You pick a new topic, and you speak on camera, practicing speaking. Do this for at least 20 days. Compare your first video and the video you will have on day 20. If you can, if you can see the difference, congratulations. But like, look, it's not the question if you can see the difference. You will see the difference. So that is why, you just go for it. But how many people will actually do it? What do you think? Let's say we have 10 people who learned about this technique. How many people out of 10 will actually do it? How many people will do it? Honestly, I don't know how many people will do it, but not many. I don't even think that 50%, I don't think that even 5 out of 10 will do it. I would say that maybe 20%, maybe 30%. Yeah, let's be more optimistic. But I want you to try it. And we will meet with you next week for another live stream, and you can share your progress with me and with this community. The thing is that, guys, when you are trying to do something, when you are trying to build a new habit, you need a community who can support you. I mean, I can't be your personal supporter in this task, but our community and this live stream that I will do again next week, yeah, we this can be something that, that, okay, I have to practice my speaking 5 minutes on camera before Anna's next webinar, and I will come to Anna's next webinar, and I will share my results with the community. So yeah, just try. Why not? It will work. You might get more consistent with your learning. So that is why this is something that you can do. Okay, here's another question. Anna, is there any chance to analyze the progress of learning English by yourself without a teacher, especially if you're already intermediate or upper intermediate? Well, Anna, this is a good question. If you use a specific, let's say, book to learn English, usually books offer you progress tests. For example, if you use the book English for Tech, yeah, if you use my book, let's say every 3 lessons I give you here, I think every 3 lessons I give you a progress test. Yeah, like here, a progress test. And you can see that if you answer everything correctly, that's progress for you, right? And then when, let's say, after a few months, of studying, you want to check your level. So this is a different test. So we have different types of tests. This is a progress test. A progress test is a test that you take after you covered a lesson or a certain topic, or a chapter in the book, But if you want to test your level, then you need to test your level in the beginning, at the beginning of the course, or at the beginning of your, I don't know, semester. You might even use different books, for this, or different styles of learning. But you have to say, okay, I am testing myself now, and in 3 months, I'm going to do the test again, and I'm going to see my progress. So technically, you don't need a teacher for this, because what you can do, you can just take the course that not the course, the test that we have at English for IT. It's a free test. By the way, we have now a new test. We just created a new test. Let me just find the link, you guys, and you can test it. It has 50 or 60 questions. So you can take it at the beginning, like when you decide to start learning. And then after a certain time, you give yourself some, timeline. I'm going to do this for the next 3 months, and I want to see how my level is going to change. So yeah, so okay, give me a sec. I will pull up this link here. Okay, I found the link. There you go. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Yeah. So that's how you can check your level yourself without a teacher. Yay! Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, oh my God, time flies. Let's see what other questions you guys have here. Oh, thank you so much for your kind words, Ira. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Such a lovely meeting. Thank you, Anna. Thank you very much for finding the time to join. And I'm happy that you are enjoying the meeting. Okay, I have another. Okay, so this is a question not in English, but I will translate it. Leo says, I understand only half of what you say. Is this a good progress or not? Well, Leo, definitely it's good progress, but it would be even a better progress. It would have been a better progress if you wrote this in English. And I know that you can write it in English, because if you understand 50% of what I say, you can definitely say, I understand 50% of what you say. It's not difficult. The reason why you're writing in Ukrainian and not in English is because you don't want to face difficulties. Yeah, it is more comfortable to write in Ukrainian, of course, because it is your native language and it is easier. If you decide to write this sentence now in English, you need to think. And this is not comfortable. Yeah, your brain will be not happy because it is extra work. Our brain is really lazy. Yeah? And every time we want to push our brain, to make our brain to do something new means difficult, because anything new that we do equals difficult. This is the time when our brain tells us, no, I'm not going to do this. Please stop. I'm not going to do this. That is why every action, every new action that you need to do is usually difficult because it's new. But the second time you do it, it's going to be easier. So that is why, Leo, specialist, I want you right now to write, if you're still watching, of course, I want you to write your sentence, your comment in English. Feel free to make mistakes, doesn't matter, but just make this first attempt, yeah? First attempt is going to be very difficult, but then the second one is going to get easier and easier and easier. That is why, please go for it. Go for it. And another question. Now I take course level 2 of English for Tech. Do you have level 3? Julia, thank you so much for sharing this. Yes, we do have level 3. Moreover, we have a brand new course that is called English for Tech 2.0 that I released in October. We released our first batch in October, and this course is you know, new content, new design, new e-learning platform. We used a new e-learning platform for this course. And also for this course, I used very modern and trending tech topics. You know, for example, we will talk in the course, you will learn more about NFTs, Web3 technology, and other, you know, like Web3 trending topics. At the same time, improving English. So yes, Julia, if you are doing level 2 right now, if you're taking English for Tech level 2, there is English for Tech level 3 that is called English for IT communication. And also my recommendation, after you complete this level, take my brand new course, English for Tech 2.0. That would be fantastic. Oh my God, Natella is taking English for Tech 2.0 and says it's awesome. English for Tech 2.0 is awesome. I really enjoy it. Thank you. I'm so happy you're enjoying it. I love it too. To be honest, I had a really great time creating the course, recording the videos, recording the audio lessons, and yeah, and I was super happy to create this content because it's brand new, everything new, you know. Also great. Alrighty. Guys, we have to wrap up here. Nika has an interesting question here about social media. Could you share some information where to get content and inspirations for social media networks if running your own English blog? Well, of course, that's a good question. Thank you for asking. I'm happy that you see me as an expert with that, in that, and I recommend you just first of all, feel free to follow my blogs on different platforms. And this is not just social media. Here is a list of links that you can get inspiration from English for IT and myself. And in the same way, feel free to find people that you really like, follow them, read them, support them, and get inspiration. To be honest, guys, you know, you don't have to create something that is, you know, innovation. By the way, last week I attended a conference here in South Florida, in Miami, and it was in South Florida Innovation Day, and all, you know, all conference was about innovation. And you know, on one of the panelists talk about innovation. What is innovation? Innovation, it doesn't have to be something that never existed before. Innovation can be something that you know, something that existed before, but you just changed it. Yeah, you made it better, for example, or you made it different. This is also innovation. So like, if you are stuck, if you don't have like a lot of ideas, like new ideas, feel free to get inspiration from people who you like. Yeah, but of course, don't copy. Get inspired. You know, you can take their idea but change it a little bit, and it will be your idea. You know, that's how it works in modern world. Before, it didn't work like this, but in modern world it works like this. Okay, so I have a blog on Medium where you can read the articles, YouTube channel, right? LinkedIn and Twitter. So feel free to follow. Like, I generate different content, and yeah, like my recommendation, just you know, find people that you like. Don't worry about having like a lot of people like that. It's enough just to have like 4 or 5, you know, people that you like. But yeah, just be consistent. Be consistent, and when you always like think about it, you know, like read about something, you know, ideas start coming to you. Of course, sometimes we face the problem of I don't know, moments of lack of inspiration. It happens with everyone, to be honest. But yeah, but you just have to go through these moments. But usually, like I said, if you like some people, you get inspired, you follow them, you get ideas from them, but you change these ideas, make them different, make them better, and voila. Okay, so let me share my socials with you guys, and you can give me a follow. Yeah. All right. So my LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn for social media, for professional social media, Instagram, Twitter, and oh, there you go. My blog on Medium, my personal blog on Medium, but there is also my company blog on Medium. Yeah, so this one is very interesting as well. We share a lot of interesting articles about English. You can, for example, read an article that we posted about English, but you get an idea about a video, to create a video. This is what I do, to be honest. That's how I this is how I technically sometimes create ideas for my reels on Instagram. I read the blog, our blog, on Medium, and I get an idea from what I read, and that's how I make a video. Yeah. And this is last question. This is the last question, guys. And I am off because it's TGIF. Okay. It's TGIF. TGIF. Thanks God it's Friday. And Anna wants to go to TGIF. TGIF. Thanks God it's Friday. Nika, I answered this question at the beginning of the webinar. How to struggle with the, I think, what is it, feeling, if you think that nobody, how to struggle, you mean how to overcome the feeling that nobody is interested or involves with your posts. Yes. Okay. So this is a very bad feeling. I agree. I had it this, I mean, of course I had this feeling too when I just started out. However, if you're consistent, success will come to you. Yeah. Success comes to people who are consistent. If you do what you want to do, what you need to do every day, you don't look at anyone else. Yeah. You don't notice this like sad moments. Okay, they didn't engage with the post. Doesn't matter. I'm going to keep pushing. Yeah. So you keep pushing, and it will come to you. Yeah. If it doesn't come to you, like if this like moment of success doesn't come to you, maybe you're moving the wrong direction, right? However, even if you spend some time trying to achieve this goal, but it didn't, like you couldn't, yeah, it's not a fail, it's a lesson. First of all, you gained a lot of new skills. You learned how to write in English, how to make videos in English, right? How to be a public speaker. So it's never a failure. It's always a lesson, because even if you don't get what you wanted to get, you still got something, yeah? That is why you have to look at it from the different angle. If you look at it from the different angle, you will understand that maybe you got even more. You got so much experience. That is why, guys, to be honest, today I mentioned this earlier in the conversation. I take part in so many volunteer projects. Yeah, I do so much work for free. I have done it all my life, and I believe this is one of the reasons why I am where I am right now. Because even right now, when you come and ask me, Anna, let's do this, but we have no budget, but this is the project. If I really like the idea, if I really like the project, I will go for it and I will do it. And I still pay with my time, and all my life, I have done so many volunteer projects. I don't know, but like when I saw that the project, if I see that this idea is valuable, and it will bring benefit, people will benefit from it, I will benefit in the way that I will learn something or meet someone, I always do it. That is why, guys, if you are that person who only wants to do things for money, I think this, you are missing something. I know what you're missing. You are missing the moment of serendipity. Because when you do things that are not exactly like work, where you like get a salary or something, when you do these things, it's just something that that will create this serendipitous moment. Okay, financial advice here. Okay, last question, guys, and we wrap up. Ilhan is asking, you focus on Web3 and Metaverse. Do you have any suggestions about investment? No, I can't. I can't give you any advice about investment. To be honest, this is something that you have to decide for yourself. I am not a big investor myself, to be honest. But of course, I'm trying some things. But every investment, I would say, not only in Web3, but even stocks, every investment is a little bit of a gamble. That is why, you have to do your own research. You have to, do market analysis. You have to be really careful. And of course, don't listen to anyone's advice. And don't ask for anyone's advice either. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining today. I am happy we are building our YouTube community. So please like this video if you liked it right now. And if you learned something new, if you ask a question, or if you wanted to ask a question, also share this video with a friend who is learning English, or share any other video, video that you like on my channel here, who is learning English. Help me grow the audience and help your friends learn English in a fun and easy way. That's all for now. I'll see you next week. Stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram and Telegram. I will be announcing the date and the time for for our next stream next week. Thank you very much for being here. I was happy to have everyone. Thank you for your questions, and TGIF. Bye.